Whenever you're ready.
Hi, this is Michael Hutchence, and you're watching Rage.
Great. Now one where I'll play at the start of the show before I do the Rage introduction. And it's just you saying, hi, I'm Michael Hutchence, I'm programming some of my favourite music videos. Stick around.
Okay.
Like that. So you tell us when you're ready, Colin.
Whenever you're ready.
Hi, this is Michael Hutchence, and I'm playing programmer on Rage with some of my favourite videos, so stick around.
Okay, rolling now.
Hi, this is Michael Hutchence, and I'm programming Rage, so stick around. Cop this.
And rolling.
Hi, this is Michael Hutchence of In Excess. Hope you're enjoying the music on Qantas.
Okay. He came in, oh, fucking play like a motherfucker. He's so funky, he's wearing this weird shit hat, fucking beard like this. He's a funky boy. I couldn't believe it. Yonder she's walking, she come my way with a red dress on, her long black hair, walking like, talking like, wanting like, but she can't tell me, oh baby I love you so.
The rock star Michael Hutchence has been found dead at a hotel in Sydney. A short time ago, police confirmed he hanged himself. Hutchence, singer and partner of the television presenter Paula Yates, was in Australia for a series of anniversary concerts with his group, In Excess.
Crowds have been gathering at the luxury Ritz-Carlton Hotel in the exclusive Doubleday suburb of Sydney since midday local time, when the star's body is understood to have been found hanging. Michael Hutchence was a guest at the hotel and had arrived in Sydney earlier in the week in preparation for a series of concerts celebrating the rock band's 20th anniversary.
We were rehearsing in the old ABC studios in Sydney, and Michael was staying in Double Bay at the Ritz there, and I lived in Potts Point, so a lot of the mornings I was picking Michael up and driving him to the rehearsals, and that way we knew he wouldn't be late. Anyway, this one particular day, I, weirdly enough, had stayed at a friend's house on the other side of the bridge, so I didn't pick Michael up that day, and went to rehearsal, and we're all there, and there was kind of something going on, and our tour manager and our security guy were there, and they said, guys, we're just going to go down to Double Bay Police Station. Something happened in Michael's room last night. We don't know what it was. And we're all sort of going, oh yeah, he's probably, got busted with some drugs or something, and we sort of let it go. And anyway, Tim Farriss in the band, the eldest of the three brothers, he had brought a little portable TV in to watch the cricket, which in those days was on the ABC. And so we're sitting in this rehearsal studio waiting for Michael to get there and the guys to get back from the cop station, and watching, Tim and I watching the cricket, and a news flash came over the TV saying Michael Hutchence was found dead in his hotel room this morning. So that was how we found out, like from a news flash on a TV, on the channel, in the place that the channel's broadcast from.
I will believe you if you say it's true. Girl, you know I need you more than any word spoken. You say you won't come back. It's just a game away. We are hoping, yes, and we're praying. This time will be the last time that we will fight like this. This time will be the last time that we will fight like this. Hey!
What were you like when you were a teenager? Like a young teenager?
I was a good boy.
No, you weren't. I'm moving on to that. Tell me about you and Natasha Kinski.
No. No. What about her?
Yeah.
No, it's,
Tell
I don't
me
know
how
where
you
that
met
story
Natasha.
came from. It's, in Hong Kong. Yeah.
How old were you?
I'd like to talk to her and see if she remembers it.
I'm sure she does.
I was 12, for God's sake.
I know. So, a 12-year-old Michael Hutchence, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with a 13-year-old
How old was
Natasha
she?
Kinski either.
She was 13, you were 12.
And?
And?
You placed in the bottle?
Yeah.
No.
Green fields, grass and earth, broken bottles, bricks and dirt, sunshine soothing, clouds hazy, dark street corners, feeling lazy, fast car driving, sleek and modern, public transit.
Is there one person who sort of has the ideas for lyrics?
Yeah, that's right.
And all you got together for the music?
Yeah, all of us has put our own parts in.
What's the best thing that's happened to you so far since putting out a single?
Well, we've been able to put out an album, basically.
Yeah, great.
An album, back in July.
Andrew, how would you describe your music?
Our music, excessive beat music. Yeah.
Good to dance to.
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah. It's
Mindless rhythm.
mindless.
Well, you know just what to do to me, the way you move, soft and slippery, cut the knot just like a razor. Well, you top, and that's the danger.
Did you write a lot of the stuff that's on this new album at that stage of the year?
Well, there was half of us in England writing, Kirk and Andrew and myself, and the rest of the band were in Australia writing. So when we got back together again, it's the first time we've done where just about everybody's contributed.
How would you describe this album, though? This current album? What would you call it? A love album? An album?
Yeah,
full of
well,
love songs,
it's I think it's a much more complete album from track one, side one to last track on side two. By the time you've gone through the whole album like that, you've got a much more balanced collection of songs. But the lyrics have changed a bit, and they're much more emotionally orientated.
You might know of the original sin. You might know how to play with fire. But did you know of the murder committed in the name of love? Yeah, you thought what a pity.
You say a few words about your song, the original sin. The refrain goes with white boy, black girl.
Yeah, it's about children. Well, it was originally written from seeing children play together, black and white children play together, and it's about they got along very well, and it seemed to me that as they grow older, they learnt things that they, bad things, you know. And it's about, I guess it's about not losing the wisdom you have when you're a child, you know.
I'm a talkback show. I'm radio. At the local bar. In the hot traffic by the red tail lights. Everybody's down on their knees. Living like thieves. But who needs that when it's all in your hands?
But as far as the live thing is concerned, you must be extremely happy now of how it's all come together. As far as because it's a very tight sound, it's a very sort of huff and raw sound.
We put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, a lot of time and work into it, and we really care about this tour.
Right.
It's like this tour is us doing everything we possibly can to show Australia that it's time that they looked up to their bands like anybody else.
Now the thing is, and it sort of all rests on you now, where everyone's sort of saying, including myself, that this time around you are going to break it in America. How do you feel about the American side, as far as you know?
Tap into America.
Tap into America.
Well, what we wanted with this album was a real guitar strong album. I think we accomplished that, and I think it probably goes hand in hand with American taste.
Yeah, I like this thing.
Well, we're hoping, you know. We'll see what happens.
What's good is I think we accomplished what we planned to accomplish.
Right.
All you got is this moment. 21st century's yesterday. You can care all you want. Everybody does, yeah, that's okay. So slide over here and give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. You're one of my kind. I need you tonight, 'cause I'm not sleeping. There's something about you, girl, that makes me sweat. I'm lonely. Can't think at all. Gonna live my life. So slide over here and give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. You're one of my kind.
Everything's going great, you know. In excess is a funny animal. The more we just enjoy ourselves and almost indulge ourselves in a positive way, the more success we've had. So
pros and cons.
Yeah, you know, we're very happy at the moment.
You surprised?
Well, I didn't think about it, so I'm not surprised either way. We just do what feels right, natural, what comes to us. You know, and it's boringly simple, sorry.
But still, do something boringly simple and then they're quite thing. What about pros and cons of it? Are you finding, are there problems to go along with the joy of being successful? As successful as you are?
I think you inherit a lot of responsibility for all kinds of things you never expected you would. You know, they range from sublime to ridiculous, and you just got to deal with those and figure out your priorities.
hair like a cheap distraction for new affair.
Hutchence knows all about the cost of this lifestyle. As lead singer and pin-up boy of the band, he gets the most attention from the fans and the media, particularly since he started seeing Australian songstress Kylie Minogue.
I'd have to be a miserable soul to sort of say, oh, please, please, you know. I mean, it's a price you pay, I suppose. I mean, only time all that stuff gets out of control is when you really do lose control of it and people make things up and they spread rumors and they just generally use you as fodder. I'm not interested in selling papers for people.
How difficult is it sort of keeping a relationship together, you know, with doing what you're doing? I mean, you're kind of constantly travelling, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't know the difference. I'm really used to it. I'd probably go nuts if I had to do 9 to 5, 5 days a week, you know. I'm just used to it. It's my life.
I mean, what do you do with, like, Helena?
We, drive agents crazy. Basically, management crazy. You just grab days where you can grab them. You just got to work hard at it, that's it. Otherwise, you just lose contact. The more time you spend together, there's bigger mountains to climb, you know. You've got to have a really good reason to be together on stage after this many years, or in a room playing music. The reasons have to be bigger. So what you're getting off it has to be bigger. So, you know, in some ways it's as they say, more challenging to be able to continue.
Oasis won the Best Newcomer Award, so this could be the start of something good for Oasis, the Best Video Award.
Well, for one, right, I heard Michael's going to give me a slap right in the face, so come on. And for another, I'd just like to say, sausages. Thanks to, who was the geezer who directed it? Nigel. Thanks to Nigel Dick. I mean, it's a bad name, but there you go, never mind. There you go, never mind, you know what I mean? There we go. There we go, there we went. Got nothing to say except for I'm extremely rich and you lot aren't. And I'm not even in it. Has-beens shouldn't present fucking awards to gonna-bees.
The Elegantly Wasted, the actual song, I don't know if you hear this at all, but I always hear the line better than Oasis, as opposed to Elegantly Wasted. Are you saying that?
No. It's a weird thing, you know. No, I would not say that.
Pretty convinced that's what's being said in that song.
Maybe I am.
Do you think you are?
No, people have said that. I've heard that myself. It's strange phenomenon.
It's weird how that happens.
Weird.
Do you think you're better than Oasis?
I don't. I'm never really into comparing stuff, you know. I don't really care to.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Michael. All right, Michael. Very well. Good to see you. Yeah, get out here. Where? Any plans to stay permanently this time? No plans like that at the moment. But just be doing the tour. Yeah. Can we expect a tour or anything? Yeah, we're doing the same sort of tour that we're doing overseas, but we're adding some earlier stuff that people would know better from Australia. Yeah? Hi. Yeah. Any surprises in store? Oh, the early stuff? Yeah. When isn't there ever? Yeah. All right. Thanks. Oops.
Welcome to another installment in my Rock and Roll Casualties series. Today, obviously, I'm talking about Michael Hutchence, lead singer of INXS. And I remember very vividly when I heard that Michael Hutchence had passed away. It was such a shock to hear because he seemed like somebody who had it all together. I loved INXS from the 1980s. I remember seeing the One Thing video on MTV back in the day, and then I didn't fully get into them until the Listen Like Thieves album, which I think is when most people in America really got turned on to INXS, either that or the following album, Kick. But it was such a gut punch to hear that he had taken his own life. And so sad. I was such a big fan of INXS. It came out of the blue. They just had an album out. So how could this have happened? I just remember, there was some controversy about, was this a case of autoerotic asphyxiation gone wrong? I don't buy that at all, because knowing how distraught he was, by all accounts, he was in a very dark mood. He was very upset. He was married to Paula Yates, who had been a huge entertainment star, a big host on a number of music programs in the UK, had been married to her for a couple of years, and she was going through a custody battle. She had previously been married to Bob Geldof. They had a couple of kids together, and so she was embroiled in this custody battle with him. He was in Sydney alone and in a very despondent state. So I doubt very seriously that in that frame of mind, he was going to decide to get into some very kinky bondage, whatever people are alleging happened. I don't buy it all, not in the state he was in. And the thing about Michael Hutchence was he seemed like a very genuinely nice guy, unlike some of these asshole rock stars like Axl Rose that you hear about, Van Morrison. Yeah. I will take any opportunity to throw shade at Van Morrison, but you know what I'm talking about. He was not a guy who seemed like he was a big jerk. So very sad that he took his own life. And much like Chris Cornell, I don't think anybody saw it coming. He had been in rehearsals just the day before. He had been rehearsing with INXS, singing some of their classic songs. It really was a celebration of 25 years, however many years they were celebrating. But it just goes to show, with depression, it's so unpredictable. And I'm not going to pretend to be any expert on depression. But what I will say is it seems back in 1992 was when the problems all started. Michael had been assaulted by a taxi driver in Copenhagen. He was riding a bike with his then girlfriend, Helena Christensen. This taxi driver was honking at them to get out of the way, and Michael Hutchence wouldn't move. So the taxi driver got out, punched Michael in the face, who then tumbled backwards and hit his head on the concrete, sustaining a closed head injury. And one of the effects of that injury was that he lost his sense of smell and taste. I can't even imagine what living like that must have been. So if he didn't have depression before, it's entirely understandable that that accident, the injury that resulted from that, could have easily sent him spiraling into depression, as it could have any of us. But I think Michael Hutchence is the closest thing to a Jim Morrison for my generation. That dynamic, charismatic frontman who commanded the stage. You couldn't take your eyes off of him. Very video friendly, and without the accompanying ego either. but one of the greatest personalities of the 1980s. And I would put him up there with David Bowie, with Prince, with Madonna. And you can call me crazy, but I stand by that statement. Michael Hutchence was the entire package, and I think the world is so much better for having his music in it. INXS was one of the biggest new wave bands of the 80s, thanks to albums like Shaboo Shabba, The Swing, Listen Like Thieves, and Kick, but they experienced a decline in commercial fortunes beginning with 1990's X album. I remember when this album came out, I liked it, but it just was not up to the greatness of Listen Like Thieves or Kick, at least to my ears anyway. And they got caught between the whole grunge era and the end of the popularity of new wave. To their credit, they didn't try to put out an overtly grunge album. I think the closest thing to that was Welcome to Wherever You Are from 1992, but that's not really a grunge album. That is INXS going a little bit harder with the Heaven Sent song, but the rest of that record is a more modern sounding INXS. And their follow-up album from the next year, Full Moon Dirty Hearts, it's probably the closest they got to trying to contemporize their sound during that grunge era without compromising who they were as a band. And after that album, they did take a break before they got back together to record the Elegantly Wasted album that was released in 1997. And after that album got released, they were going on tour to kind of celebrate and also showcase some of the early INXS material that they hadn't played live in a while. Now, they were in Sydney rehearsing for their tour, and Michael Hutchence was in his hotel room. And for reasons which I think are still unknown, he became very upset, very much wanted Paula Yates, his wife, to be with him, but she wasn't able to. She couldn't leave with her kids because she was in the middle of that custody battle. He was on the phone with Bob Geldof, angrily pleading with him at one point. He then got on the phone with one of his old girlfriends who happened to be in Sydney, asked her to come be with him, but by the time she got there, he had already hung himself. I think the mixture of depression and the impulsivity brought on by his closed head injuries, very unfortunately, led him to take his own life in a moment of despondency. But we lost one of the greatest singers, one of the greatest performers of my generation. So anyway, I know this episode ran longer than either of the previous two installments, but I love INXS and I love Michael Hutchence. May he rest in peace. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this episode. Let me know in the comment section what you think of Michael Hutchence, his death, INXS as a band, whatever crosses your mind. Thanks for watching and take care.